So welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is John with SwingFit. So as you can tell, I'm joined by my son once again, which only can mean one thing. We have another Q&A teed up for you. But tonight's Q&A is supposed to be a little different, and at least that's what Dakota's told me. So what's so different about tonight's Q&A?
So tonight should be interesting. We're looking at comments from the haters, disbelievers. So I picked out some of the best comments that they left. We're going to try to give them some answers so that maybe we can change their minds.
All right, so this should make for a really interesting video, as Dakota said. We do get our fair share of some not so nice comments, and generally speaking, truth be told, I would just rather just remove them from the remarks because I don't want to get in a whole back and forth. But tonight, we're not going to shy away from them. We're going to address them head on, and who knows? Perhaps maybe I might be able to change a couple perceptions. So is that all we're going to be focusing on? Just the ones casting shade?
So at the end, we have a dozen questions lined up, rapid fire, David Letterman style, and that's how we'll be closing out this year.
Okay, all right, so it looks like we got a nice mixture. So some good comments, some good questions, as well as responding to some that's maybe just needing some help and some additional guidance. So without further ado, let's jump in and see if we can help you find some of the answers that you're searching for. So before we get too deep into your questions, we do want to take a quick second to welcome any new viewers to the channel. And if you are new to the channel and interested in learning a little bit more about the club fitting process, then I can assure you're in the right place. And there's just a couple things you need to do. And Dakota, you want to tell them what they got to do?
Smash the like button, leave your own hater comment, and subscribe to the channel.
All right, so I'm not sure about the hater comment, but if you don't have anything else better to do and you want to leave a hater comment, then sure enough, go ahead and leave that. But let's go ahead and get to those questions. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into some of the hater comments, and let's see which ones Dakota picked out. So which one you got teed up for us first?
So the first one is from the video comparing the T100s to the Apex Pros. They say, "That's not a fair fight. You should have never compared the Apex Pro with the T100. The Apex Pro is more comparable to that of the T200.
Okay. All right, guys. So I do remember this remark, and I did get a little back and forth with this guy. And without question, he was absolutely wrong in this scenario. The Apex Pro is, without question, comparable to that of the T100. Now, in this video, it was a little off because the Apex Pro has a little stronger loft than that of the T100. And actually, in order for it to be a really fair fight, we probably should have compared the Apex Pro against the T100S, in which at the time of doing the video, we didn't have the S. But there's no disputing, I would never put the Apex Pro up against the T200. That would not be an apple-to-apple fight. So, all right, let's go to the second one.
All right. This next one is from the video comparing the different models of the PXG Gen 4 drivers.
Okay.
The PXG Gen 4 X driver is a lower spinning head than the XT. You should learn your stuff before you do a video.
I remember this one as well. And, definitely we do know our stuff. And, in fact, after you made this comment, I even reached out to the guys at PXG, the engineering crew, just to make sure I didn't misspeak. And without question, the XT is supposed to be the lower spinning design head out of the entire family, right? It's really the little smaller footprint. And depending on where you put those weights, you can actually make the X a lower spinning design, especially if you go with a little lower loft than that of the XT. But in this scenario, there's no disputing. All things being equal, the XT is supposed to be a little lower launching, a little lower spinning. So yeah. So let's get into the third one.
Our third one is from our first PXG driver fitting. Are you serious? The customer found an extra 15 yards just by adding 2.5 grams to the head? What a joke.
All right, so it wasn't a joke by any means, and I do remember this video well. We had a customer come in for a retrofit, wasn't interested in swapping out his clubs. He just wanted to breathe new life and find the optimum setting. And if you know anything about the PXG Proto drivers, there's 4 weight ports in the bottom of that driver, and that just gives me the ultimate flexibility to move those weights around. We tried heavier weights, lighter weights, and in the end, we did add an extra 2.5 grams to the head. Not only did it helped tighten up the customer dispersion, but it also helped him squeak out a couple extra yards, 15 to that fact. And it was a big difference. And really, we see it all the time.
So our next comment came from the video with the senior golfer hitting the TSI-1 with the villain stiff flex shaft.
All right, so this one should be a good one.
How can you call yourself a club fitter? Everyone knows that senior golfers shouldn't be playing stiff shafts.
All right, so guys, hopefully you watched enough videos to know that we don't follow a simple playbook. I mean, we live outside of the lines, and if there's any one thing I've learned in all the years I've been doing this, is sometimes doing the exact opposite of what you might think is going to happen is exactly what the customer needs. In this situation, I was blown away that the stiff shaft was the best choice for the customer, and it helped him pick up 40 extra yards. So guys, definitely click on the iCard if you want to go back and watch this one, because this one was probably one of our better results, especially for a senior golfer to actually find 200 yards again. So that was a great video. All right, so we're almost halfway there. So what's number 5?
The fifth comment came from the video comparing the Apex 21s and the JPX 921s.
Okay, all right, this was actually a good fight, good video.
Blah, blah, blah. Can you get to the point already?
All right, so this was probably one of our earlier comparison head-to-head videos. So actually, let's pull up, what was the timestamp on that? How long was this video?
This video was 18 minutes long.
Okay. All right. So guys, full disclosure, I probably even heeded that remark and that feedback because we've been really trying to do our best to keep the videos to about 12 to 15 minutes, unless it's the Q&A. Then those definitely will go a little longer because we want to make sure we're getting to everybody's questions and stuff. But definitely that was probably a shade comment that we followed. So thanks for your comment. So number 6.
Next one came from the first time you played your new irons this year. They say, ha! Swing speed in mid 80s and you're playing rifle 6.5s. I can't even take you seriously.
All right, so my original gamers, I did rock the rifle 6.5s, but full disclosure, I did tell everybody that that is the shaft I've always gamed, and this year was the year that I actually even stepped it down. So I'm no longer even close to playing the 6.5s, but that was my original gamers, and it is what it was. So number 7.
Next comment came from our impact screen video.
Okay, so it's our very first review that we've done. So all right, let's cool. Let's see what this one is.
6 minutes in and still no recommendation. Get to the point.
All right, so we don't do a lot of reviews, or at least recommendation reviews style on this channel. This one was our very first one, and it was even a little plug for it. You got a coupon code, and if you didn't get a chance to watch one, it's definitely a good one because those are the same impact screens we use in our studio, and we just felt so profound to do a video on it because it's a really, really good impact screen. And I mean, 6 minutes in, I mean, is really supposed to dive into all the things, so sorry.
Next one came from understanding the significance of center of gravity. You must be sponsored by Titleist because every other video is a Titleist commercial.
All right, so I'd have to actually go back and look at all our videos just to see how even distributed we are. But I mean, full disclosure though, it's kind of hard to knock Titleist. I mean, there's 4 different models in their lineup, and it's just that damn good of a driver. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to the new drivers that come out in the summertime just to see if they're any better. But, I mean, it's really kind of hard to beat, and they do continue to kind of come out on top. All right, so we only have 2 more hater comments before we get to the rapid fire section. So what do we got, Dakota?
The next comment was left on the club fitting optimization for the TaylorMade driver.
Okay.
They say, I bet if you tied your hands together, you wouldn't be able to do a video.
All right, so we do joke about this day in and day out, and I do get a lot of remarks that I'm sometimes distracting because my hands is all over the place. Guys, you know, whether it's I have a little bit of ADD, you know, for me to be able to stay in one place behind the camera that's really amazing and surprising all in itself. But here's one of the things we was thinking about doing, and that was we was going to get a straight jacket and have me try to do a video with a straight jacket, full outtakes and everything to see if I can get through the entire video. And if that's something that you would like to see and think it would be pretty cool, then do me a favor, smash that thumbs up. And heck, I tell you what, if we get 250 likes on this video, I promise you, I will get a straight jacket, and one of our first videos in the new year will be with me trying to lock down and get a video out. So that should be a good one.
All right, last one here. This was comparing the i5-9s, the 770s, and the PXG Gen 4 Ts.
Okay, all right. So we actually did that one just not so long ago, and we was talking about Better Players Club, the actual speed foam type of material inside the heads. Okay, so yeah, so what we got?
Why on earth is the 770 even in this test? That's like apples and oranges.
I don't really remember this remark, but yeah, it definitely, the 770 is very comparable to the other ones. I mean, it's all apples to apples here in this situation. I mean, similar shape, similar top line, similar size, and really similar build characteristics, all things being equal. It was a really even fight. So, yeah, I don't know if I would actually, even give it any credence to that remark. But, all right, so that's all the comments we have for the haters, the ones that's casting shade. Guys, I mean, it's not meant to be a joke or anything. We do appreciate your comments. So even if, you don't agree with what we put out on the channel, that's fine. It's okay to have a difference of opinion from time to time. And quite honestly, I'm always learning, and, I'm not afraid to someone else's perspective. So definitely please feel free to continue to leave your remarks and your comments below regardless. So, Carter, let's get into this rapid fire David Letterman style. And who knows, I want to see if we can actually test his editing abilities to see if we can get the whole break the glass sound. So, number one.
Favorite driver last year?
TSI 2.
Ideal wedge length, shorter or longer?
So I like longer wedge lengths, guys. I mean, and we haven't really done a video on this, and I do want to do one. We follow the one length concept in our wedge design. So everything from the 9-iron down is the exact same length. And we'll do another video where we really peel back the layers to help you understand why we do that.
Best way to control spin, shaft or head?
The head.
Best golf ball for slower swing speeds?
All right, so I'm going to throw you guys a curveball on this one. So we do like the Srixon Q-Star Tours. I mean, it's a phenomenal golf ball for our slower swing speeds. But the golf ball I have been steering my customers into as of lately has been the Mizuno Tour X ball. It's a 4-piece ball, and it's one of the highest spinning balls out on the market. And for those that's just losing a little bit of speed, this is not a bad choice.
Best way to hit the ball further?
Get fit. I mean, but all jokes aside, speed training, right? If you want to hit the ball farther, you got to increase your input. I mean, this is the quickest and fastest way to do so. And really where we see that degradation come is through range of motion and flexibility. So do some yoga classes, stretching, especially before you go out to play around the golf. Try to get a good warm-up session in.
Best driver tip to hit it better?
Ball position and tee height. No secret, okay? Clubs can do so much, but ball position, tee height, quickest tip ever.
Hybrid versus fairway wood.
This one's tough because it really does depend on the delivery and the speed. We have been tinkering around with going with more higher lofted fairway woods for our senior golfers, and that's been working out really, really well. It's just we found a little smaller footprints, the hybrids and stuff. They just wasn't able to get enough ball speed off of those smaller style heads. And who wants to pay $400 or $500 for one of those, high-end hybrids? So we found that the higher lofted fairway woods has been a really good choice.
If you're in between flexes, should you go softer or stiffer?
If you're in between flexes, I usually always err on the side of caution, and I like going stiffer if you're continuing to work on your technique, because you're likely going to get better and faster. If you're on the tail end of the spectrum, meaning that maybe, you've been playing golf 20, 30 years, you're not really looking to change your technique, there I might go a little softer because, I want those clubs to last you a little bit longer. So that would just be the kind of the twist there.
Larger grips or smaller grips?
Larger grips. I'm a firm believer that everybody is playing a grip that is a size too small. So if you play a standard, you should play a medium-sized grip. If you're playing a mid-sized grip, you should probably be playing a jumbo.
Should fittings be free?
Oh man, I could spend all day on this one. Without question, no, fittings should not be free. Right? Well, let me quantify that. Fittings should not be free when you seek out the counsel from a fitting establishment such as ours, such as TXG, such as Club Champion, right? Why? Because guys, quite honestly, you're paying for the overhead associated with not only the expertise and the knowledge, but also the use of the fitting matrix. And full disclosure, the items that we have in our fitting matrix is not free. We have to pay for that each and every single year. And yes, it is at a discounted cost, but guys, it's not free. So that's the only way we can recoup some of our money. And yes, it is a business decision, but the only way fittings should be free is if you're going to your local pro shop, your golf course, and you're doing it out the back of a driving range, or if you're going to your local sporting goods store. Why? Because it's not going to be the same caliber, the same level of support than that of what you get into a nationally ranked club fitting chain or a mom and pop fitting studio like ours or TXG. So I think that pretty much sums it up for 2021. I truly want to thank everybody for your continued feedback and your support. We've almost reached our next milestone of 5,000 subscribers, and I know we're going to get there sooner than later, but thank you so much again for spreading the word of what we're trying to do with the channel and just trying to help the golfing community through the information that we're sharing to help you increase your knowledge. So definitely thank you guys again. And Dakota, you have any parting words for everybody?
Everybody have a happy new year. If you're going to be out, bring it in safely. And if you know anyone that works with Titleist, tell them to sponsor us because we're not sponsored yet.
All right, so we're not sponsored and we probably will not be sponsored by anybody. We want to continue to maintain our brand agnostic fitting philosophy and style and approach, but it doesn't mean that we wouldn't honor a sponsorship from, say, Rolex, Bentley, maybe Mercedes-Benz. Guys, we'll wear your logos, we'll drive your cars, and I will definitely flash your bling if that's something that you want us to do. So guys, just reach out to us. But thank you guys again for helping us make 2021 such a great year. And until next year, just be safe.